Archaeologists still have a lot to discover when it comes to the treasures of our planet. From time to time, new information about unique finds is added to the network. In today's episode, we'll introduce you to some of them. I invite you to watch. Movile Cave in Romania. A cave that has been closed and isolated from the world for 5.5 million years has finally been opened by researchers. Movile Cave is an extremely dangerous place filled with toxic air. Researchers have managed to isolate a unique ecosystem inside it. The cave was originally discovered in 1986 by site-seeking workers for the construction of a nuclear power plant, and since then access to it has been restricted by the authorities. The depths of Movile Cave reveal an environment unlike any other on Earth. Cave air contains less than half of the oxygen found in open air and is rich in carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide. In addition, the cave is completely darkened, as it has been deprived of sunlight for millions of years. The extreme conditions of the cave attract the attention of biologists who study this fascinating ecosystem that has developed despite the lack of sun. A 1996 study by a team of biologists at the University of Cincinnati identified 48 species, 33 of which were unique to Movile Cave. The inhabitants of the cave are various types of spiders, pseudoscorpions, beetles, leeches, and snails. The organisms that inhabit the cave have adapted to the dark environment, and most of them lack eyesight and pigmentation because they are not needed under these conditions. These creatures, however, have elongated limbs and foreheads, which allows them to move effectively in the dark. The first known terrestrial ecosystem based on chemosynthetic bacteria can be distinguished in this cave. While most of the Earth's ecosystems rely on photosynthesis to get energy from sunlight, the bacteria in this cave obtain energy and carbon through chemical reactions, such as the oxidation of hydrogen sulfide or ammonia. In some ways, the Movile Cave ecosystem resembles those found near hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor. Researchers believe that numerous undiscovered species can still be found inside, and some of them may provide valuable information about evolutionary biology and the nature of life. The Man of Altamira. In the depths of an Italian cave, an extraordinary find was discovered that revealed the secrets of our ancient ancestors. Altamira Man is a 170,000-year-old skeleton discovered in the Lama Lunga caves in 1993. It was the oldest fragment of a Neanderthal skeleton from which DNA could be extracted. Unfortunately, due to the fragility of the skull and its blockage in stalactites and stalagmites, accurate analysis was very difficult for researchers. The remains were left intact to prevent any damage. The research breakthrough came when scientists managed to extract DNA from the right shoulder blade of a man from Altamira. These ancient particles, potentially dating back 170,000 years, are giving us a glimpse into Neanderthal life that we've never had before. One of the paleontologists involved in the research claims that it is the most complete pre-human skeleton ever found. It has almost all bone elements preserved, giving us a unique glimpse into the past. However, unraveling the mystery of the origin of the man from Altamira was not easy. While it exhibited typical Neanderthal features on the face and back of the skull, it also exhibited some peculiarities. Massive superciliary arches unheard of. The Neanderthals complicated the identification process. Moreover, the skeletal remains were partially surrounded by rocks, making it difficult to study. Carbon radio dating yielded astounding results, pointing to the age of the skeleton to be 130,000 to 170,000 years. cave of giant crystals. Deep beneath the Sierra de Nica in Chihuahua, Mexico, you can find the so-called caves of giant crystals. It is located 300 meters below the surface of the Earth. It is a breathtaking place, decorated with unusual gypsum crystals that seem so beautiful that it is hard to believe they actually exist. The crystals are in the form of colossal pillars and have grown over a period of over 500,000 years. Some of them even extend throughout the entire cave. Unfortunately, access to this place is basically completely blocked for tourists. Special equipment and skills are required to get there. It is a very dangerous place, full of moisture and heat. Even scientists can't work freely there. They were able to determine that the site was formed when regional fault lines served as conduits for magma that rose to the Earth's surface nearly 26 million years ago. This process led to the formation of the mountain itself and laid the foundations for the birth of these wonderful crystals. The crystal cave was flooded for tens of thousands of years with groundwater that contained a mineral called anhydrite. At temperatures above 58 degrees Celsius, anhydrite becomes a stable solid. The presence of magma beneath the cave kept the water temperature at an ideal level. Over time, however, the water temperature began to drop below the critical threshold of 58 degrees Celsius. This led to the breakdown of anhydrite, releasing calcium and sulfate into the water. These molecules began to react and crystallize, forming a unique type of gypsum known as selenite. The cave thus became a breathtaking realm of white selenite crystals that grew and built up over millions of years. A cave full of stalagmites. In a cave in the south of France, there is an ancient site that dates back 175,000 years. It turns out that the Neanderthals living here were real constructors in their time. This cave is filled with details and strange decorations. The place is located 50 kilometers from Toulouse in France. Archaeologists found about 400 stalagmites at this site, carefully arranged in two circular structures. All this was 336 m deep into the cave. One of these structures was a perfect circle with a diameter of 2 meters, and the other was a strange oval shape, about 4.5 meters wide and 6.7 meters long. However, the real surprise was that they bore traces that were created after being burned by fire. Why was the ground inside these circles scorched? Researchers do not yet have an answer to this question. What is most surprising about this place, however, is how it changes our perception of the Neanderthals themselves. Until now, it was believed that they were creatures of rather simple intellect. However, as it turns out, they were much more advanced than they are credited with. According to the researchers, the Neanderthals collectively formed these structures, which required them to socially organize and work as a team. Everyone had to have their own predetermined role there in order to be able to perform this ambitious job. However, we do not know for sure what these structures were used for. They may have been used as temporary shelters or had some spiritual significance for the Neanderthals. Certainly, their creation required organizational skills and a sense of aesthetics. These cavemen were the true architects of their time. The discovery also proves that the Neanderthals were on par with early humans in terms of technical skills, hunting and fishing skills, and even artistic expression. Perhaps subsequent archaeological discoveries will shed completely new light on the life of this prehistoric species. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get notifications about the latest episodes. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye.